spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow.
You're listening to the Extra Magic Hour, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the Diz Insider. Join the team in the studio as they bring you the spirit of Disney through park news, history, and tips and tricks to make your Disney Parks vacation even more magical. Welcome to another episode of the Extra Magic Hour, your park-centric show here at Walt's Apartment Productions. I'm one of your hosts, Sam, and today we're going to be talking about some changes coming to Disney Cruise Line, some changes coming to the parks, and some new things that are going to be coming for us to enjoy. So before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors, Sunken City Design, Getaway Today, and We're in the Park. And a big shout out to our Lamplighter's, our Patreons, who are keeping the conversation going over on our absolutely free Discord that you should totally join. So click the link in the show notes to check everything out. And before we dive into our topics for tonight, let's say hi to the rest of our team. Kelly, welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a while, I know, but I'm back and I'm better than ever.
Good. We're glad to have you. Courtney, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk some Disney, Universal, cruise ships, everything.
I thought this was going to be an exciting show for you guys with all of the cruise news we have to share. So, and last but not least, Joey, how's it going?
Batting cleanup. What's up?
Batting cleanup. That's silly. So we're going to have a very, very, very full show tonight. We always Courtney and Kelly and Joey, they'll post things and Kevin today too. We'll post things that are newsworthy throughout the week, and we take them all and bring them to you once a week. And there's a lot to talk about. So we're going to start with Disney cruise news first. So the first thing we've got is Kelly's going to tell us about the decrease that they've done on the expectation for the deposit. So
something really exciting Disney has rolled out right now is that they are allowing people to only put 10% down on a new booking for a cruise instead of the original 20%. So if you've got some money, a little bit of money to put the deposit down and then make your payments, that'll be good for you. Even better if you have a placeholder and you have that booked on a last cruise, you'll get to put 5% down on your deposit. So you already get a percentage off, and you get to use that $250 towards your deposit. And so then you'll only have to put 5% down. So I don't know exactly how that works, but the math is mathing for girl math.
It's always do a placeholder, no matter what.
Yes.
So explain what a placeholder is.
So a placeholder is when you're on a cruise and right before you get off a cruise or during the cruise, if you go into the app and you ask for a placeholder, right now it's $250 usually to put down towards a placeholder, which means you have a room booked on a cruise, any cruise you want for the next cruise that you want to take, and you can use it for the next 2 years. It expires in 2 years. And then you get 10% off the cruise if you use the placeholder, plus you get to use the $250 that you paid at the point of sale towards your deposit or towards your cruise. So you don't lose anything.
It's basically a reservation credit then.
Correct. Yeah. So it's a reservation credit. And you can use it on Anything except concierge. You're not allowed to use it towards a concierge room. But sometimes that changes. Rules may change, but typically not a concierge room.
So we have more cruise news we can just jump right into.
I had a couple of questions real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
With two questions. With the lower deposit, would that make the payments more expensive? Or
The payments are up to you. They don't divide the payments equally or anything like that. You just pay it as you can towards the total balance. So it doesn't make the cruise any less expensive. It just makes it easier to put that deposit down to hold the room.
And how far before your sail date do you have to have your cruise paid for in full?
90 days.
Well, so typically it's like 3 to 4 months, I believe. Our cruise that we have booked right now in February has to be paid in full by November.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one more question. I'm just kind of curious because it seems, I mean, it's cool that they're doing this, but
yes.
Are they not filling up the cruises right now? Is that why? Do you think they're?
I think it's just with the economic times. It's kind of a way to incentivize people to book cruises, because let's just say, like, we booked a veranda room on the Wish initially, and like that 20% down, or I think it was, you had to pay 20% of it, right, Kel? It was like $900 you had to put down all at once. So only having to pay 10%, that's what, $600? That's like half of it or whatever. So like it just makes it less to book it, to put a placeholder down, basically.
Our
like,
Wish cruise was about I want to say
we initially booked it, because I want to say when I originally looked at it, the deposit was $900, right?
Yeah, when I initially booked the Wish cruise, I paid $3,600, and I believe it was between $800 and $900 for the deposit, and then
it wasn't ready.
10% of that would have been like $300, I think. It's 10%.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I haven't seen boats sold out, except for a few, like the Treasure and the Destiny and the Wish. I know that our Pixar Day at Sea that I have booked for February, there was very limited veranda rooms, but I know that you could get still pretty the lower rooms, the porthole rooms, and the
Inside
rooms. But the Fantasy is kind of different because it has the fancy portholes. So there was,
So they're
I
not
think those
real.
were.
So they're not real. So like Disney characters, they animate them, and Disney characters will show up in the porthole. So that's why she means
They're a very popular room.
Ah.
So yeah, but it depends on the boat, and it also depends on where it's sailing. So
Ship.
if it's sailing to different areas, but I think there's also a deal on the 7+ night cruises where you can. I read about it.
it's 50% off.
Yeah, it's 50% off the deposit. And I think they're trying to incentivize those cruises because besides the Treasure, and the Treasure being a 7-night only cruise, they have more longer cruises on other cruise ships. And I don't think those are selling very well.
Ah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That's not all of the cruise news that we've got, though. We got some numbers.
Yeah. So on the halls, we saw this picture at D23, obviously, the picture that's up on our stream right now. And they're adding 5 more ships to the fleet in the next 2020 till the next 2031, I think. 2031.
2031. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have names. We don't have destinations. We don't have anything, which I think is kind of what they were talking about at D23.
So what it was is they just gave them hall numbers. So
Yeah.
they gave them numbers of what, and they'll work on them in that number order. So they're getting started on new ships already.
Yeah. It's fun.
Hopefully, there's one dedicated in Hawaii.
Yes.
To do that.
The next ship to take its maiden voyage is the Disney Destiny, right? November
Yeah.
20th,
So the Destiny. Yeah. And they announced on the Disney Destiny that the Oceaneers Club is going to be Wreck-It Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it's going to be themed with Ralph and Vanellope and all their friends. And I think that's kind of fun because it's like video game centric, which kids are all into. So I didn't see very specifics about it, but it is going to be themed to Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, I think they said that the slide, it's the slide to get in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one right now on the Wish is like Alice in Wonderland themed. So
yeah, and they're going to be life-size statues of Ralph and Vanellope. So
Yeah.
We can take a look at them.
Yeah. I did see that even on the adventure they pulled up some merch and things like that too. Cruise news was crazy this week, guys.
Well, I like that because Wreck-It Ralph,
sure.
doesn't get a whole lot of plug at the parks right now. So
yeah. I think it makes sense because kids love video games and
adults.
And adults too, but the Oceaneers Club is for the kids. Mm-hmm. Adults only get to go for open house.
Joey said they're using Mary Oceaneer's name and it's for kids. That's not fair.
I'm going, damn it. Try to keep it.
Everybody goes during the open house, so.
All right. We are going to move into a returning segment. I just added a little spice to it today. We'll see how it goes. If we don't like it, we don't have to keep it. But this is the Travel Minute, brought to you by Extra Magic Hour and Walt Apartment Productions.
Ooh, fancy graphics.
Cruise tip for anybody who's never cruised or who can make their cruise experience better.
My one tip that I have, and I think it has been a savior for us on all 3 cruises that we have gone on, is print the port arrival form. And you print it out, because a lot of people have it on their phones and they scan it so many times that people have to go back in their phones, look for it in the email, or your Wi-Fi is not working, or your service isn't working and your email's not popping up. So print that port arrival form. I know that on some or all Disney ships, you can also use a magic band to get on and off the ship. But print the port arrival form, have it in your hand when you're going through the process to get on the ship, because they need to see that multiple times throughout the stops that you're on.
Yeah. That is an excellent tip.
And my tip would be to bring an empty water bottle, just in case you want to like fill it up with like the soda that they have there or whatever, or even water from the soda fountain or whatever, because they only give you little cups. And if you want to take it back to your room or whatever, and you want like more than just what the little cup is, bring an empty water bottle.
Those are both excellent tips.
I got one too. Yeah. Well, since I've only been on the Jungle Cruise, one of the tips is, when you're in by the tribe and they're shooting the arrows out, grab your women and children because they make great shields.
Okay.
Excellent tip, Joey. Excellent.
Yes, it's something that we cannot forget.
His tips will get better in 2 weeks when we go on the Carnival Friends.
Yay! I love cruising. Yeah. So those were both great tips. And Joey, yours was we cannot do the show without your Jungle Cruise tip too.
Yeah, you got it,
If you need help booking a Disney cruise, or a trip to hop aboard the Jungle Cruise, you can book it with our sponsors, Getaway Today. So let's hear from them now.
It's been a great show so far, but who's ready for an ad break? Did you know that the best way to keep our shows going is by supporting our sponsors? So let's get to know more about the travel experts at Getaway Today. They've been helping to make vacation dreams come true since 1990. And whether you want to visit the happiest place on earth or to travel to Orlando for a most epic adventure, they are there to help. Are you trying to find out which hotel is your best option or which theme park tickets will work best for your visit? Are you concerned that you might need a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts will help you out. Looking to book a cruise but don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it's your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today offers peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours before your trip. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon welcome. Getaway Today guarantees the best prices, with no hidden fees, and every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million have been donated. So go ahead and dial 1-855-GETAWAY, that's 1-855-438-2929, and be sure to tell them that Walt's Apartment sent you. Or just click the link in our show notes for more information and the best deals to start your Disney, Universal Studios, or cruise vacation planning. What I'm trying to say is, if you like to travel, check out Getaway Today. All right, so now it's time to get back to enjoying that view from Walt's apartment. Let's get back to the show.
Definitely check out Getaway Today for all of your vacation planning needs. They are amazing and they can take care of as much or as little as you want them to. And they've got some great tips that they can share too. All right, it's time for another returning segment to our show, our Hidden History section, where we dig up the overlooked, obscure, and quietly fascinating moments from theme park history. So this week we're going to be looking at what went down between June 16th and 20th, and it's a wild mix. So let's see if I can open these up. All right. So June 16th, 1884, the first American coaster. It opened on Coney Island. The Switchback Railway opened as the first roller coaster in America, cruising at just 6 miles per hour and charging a nickel a ride. That's crazy.
It was one of those kid coasters, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we're going back to June 14th a little bit for this one, but 1974, Six Flags Great America breaks ground. So before there were Batman coasters and Fright Fest nights, the Chicago, or it's not Chicago, it's close to Chicago, it's a suburb, park broke ground on Flag Day, setting the stage for one of Six Flags' most iconic locations. June 20th of 2005, Batman the Ride gets ACE landmark status. So it's the world's first inverted coaster, and ACE is the American Coaster Enthusiast Award. Have you guys ever been on the Batman?
Yeah, I love that.
Ever been stuck upside down on Batman for 3 hours?
No.
I've seen it happen.
I would not like that anymore.
Nope, I've seen it happen, but I do. It's probably one of my favorite coasters for sure. June 20th, 1973, at Disneyland, a guest drowned while attempting to swim back from Tom Sawyer Island after hours.
We don't get in the lake.
Yeah. So it's a little known story that led to tighter safety rules across the park.
I was like 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
I don't know. They must have got caught on something. You know, that Mark Twain goes on some kind of rail. So.
Mm-hmm. It was after hours.
Yeah, well.
And we don't know. It could have been a kid or something. Like, I don't have all the details on that. I just know that's when it happened.
A weird fact.
And the
It
crazy
is.
thing, I'm just looking at her notes in our little private chat. And when I see somebody drown, I see Jason Voorhees. I'm like, oh my god,
Why?
it all makes sense.
Wrong park.
June 20th, 1995, Disney's Animal Kingdom was announced. So Disney officially revealed plans for its fourth Florida theme park, which they called Disney's Wild Animal Kingdom when they first put out the publication, later to become the Animal Kingdom that we know today.
They dropped the wild.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, and that's it for Hidden History this week.
Nice.
We've got more park talk coming up, so let's go. Speaking of park talk, after hours. Well, before we get to that, I'm skipping ahead because I don't like the layout here. But Universal is has announced that they are building their own kids resort. It's a kid-centric resort. We did get concept art for that in Dallas, yeah. We'll talk about what to expect from the kids resort. I'm going to pull up the Courtney. Do you want to tell a little bit about it when it's opening?
I mean, I just put in this one.
Oh, it's okay. I've got some info on it. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, if you have more info, because the one that I put on it was just a little like, the concept art. So
yeah, I'm
they
gonna put
did
that up.
what lands it was going to be. Mostly Shrek, I think. And Trolls.
Yeah. Okay.
Real quick, is SpongeBob a Universal property?
No, it's a Nickelodeon.
Well, I
lent it to Universal. I think maybe, I don't know. Nickelodeon usually like pairs with Paramount and Sony, so I'm not sure.
That's right. They used to be at Great America over here in Santa Clara.
But I think SpongeBob is at Universal Orlando.
Yeah. Well,
SpongeBob
used to be
included. So SpongeBob will be included.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I remember the cartoon when they're making fun of the squirrel. They're like, "You from Texas?" And they're in Texas, so.
Yeah. So Universal is building their first ever kids-focused resort, Universal Kids Resort in Frisco, Texas, which is just north of Dallas. It is set to open in the spring to summer of 2026, so next year. It's a 32-acre resort that includes a children's theme park with 7 immersive lands, including Gabby's Dollhouse, Trolls, Shrek, Puss in Boots, which will have a sensory garden and games. Shrek is a swamp playground. Trolls is a Pop Village Music Fest vibe. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous with a coaster. Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob, and then a Minions water play splash zone. And then it's going to have a 5-story, 300-room themed hotel with vibrant exterior murals depicting Shrek, Minions, SpongeBob, Trolls. So then there's going to be a central hub, which will be a place for shady lawn play and families to interact and character meet and greets and stuff. So looks like it's
I see the Trolls
cool.
land. I picture like Burning Man with glitter.
I mean, we do have smaller versions of these at Universal Orlando. They have Shrek and Trolls, and they have
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. But I'm not going to say that I'm excited to go to this, but it's giving me like Legoland mixed with Epic Universe. Yeah, Legoland mixed with like Epic Universe of how they're kind of working it. And we know that with Epic, the concept art was almost so real that we can now go and see the concept art. So Universal's got this. After Epic, I kind of trust them.
Yeah. I'm just not quite sure about some of the IPs there. I mean, like,
it's for kids. I'm not gonna get too picky about it. I'm not gonna get too picky about it because it's for kids, and that's what kids like to watch.
Yeah.
and I know it's a kids park, but if there's not a good amount of alcohol to get there, because I've been an adult at Chuck E. Cheese. I've seen adults at Chuck E. Cheese. You need some liquid medicine.
I'm sure they'll have some adult spaces. It'll still probably be neon, but maybe it'll be glow in the dark.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Speaking of new things coming, we are getting an Encanto restaurant in Animal Kingdom. So they are saying it's actually going to be the largest quick service restaurant on resort property. It is going to be a brightly colored hacienda, and it's going to be near the Encanto attraction.
And that's going in Animal Kingdom?
Yes. It's going to be in the Tropical Americas.
Tropical Americas, yep. So goodbye, Dinoland. Yeah. And it's going to be quick service hacienda style dining, and they are saying that it's going to be obviously Latin American flavored, inspired, some possible Colombian food to match the Encanto setting. So
probably a little
they
fusion.
have it. I think they said late 2025 we will be able to kind of get some menu previews and some more renderings of the restaurants, because we don't have any concept art. And then
because they didn't really announce that in D23. Yeah, when this was announced, they didn't really say. Yeah, it didn't say that we were getting a restaurant. So
yeah, I think there was just like the ride and the house, the Encanto house. But no, I'm excited. I think that Animal Kingdom has a lot of food, but they surely can use more. And I also think that they had the restaurant in Dino Land, so maybe they're repurposing that. The Restaurantosaurus, I think it was,
Yes,
Restaurantosaurus, yep.
And while we're there, we did finally get a permanent closure date for the Boneyard. That's there right now. It's going to close on September 2nd. So September 1st is the last day to experience it. But they did confirm the Tropical Americas will have a new kids play area when the land opens, but the Boneyard is going away. But Dinosaur is still set to remain open through this year. So it's not closing until next year.
Yeah, and then we are getting a reopening date for Test Track. So Test Track will be reopening on, I believe it was July 22nd. So July 22nd, Test Track is reopening at Epcot. So we've got some things closing, some things reopening, and we're even getting the Darth Vader meet and greet returning for you guys. Do you want to talk about that?
I was surprised about that because ever since COVID, you couldn't go into the Star Wars launch bay area, and to the point where like they actually have converted the upstairs area of launch bay into a DVC lounge, so you can only go in there as DVC members. But they always have like a meet and greet with Darth Vader off to the side, I guess. Like you didn't really go in, but you could go to the side of the launch bay and go in there and meet him. I think with your Chase card. I'm not sure if you.
I was gonna say, wasn't that the Chase card Visa
It was the
holder?
Chase card one, because they haven't really opened up the like launch bay meet and greet yet. Until now, people were actually going in there. You can still see the Galaxy's Edge model from D23 2019. You can still see the 2017 Galactic Nights, where they have like a bunch of memorabilia and like props from the Last Jedi and Last Jedi, and I don't know if they put the the Rise of Skywalker in there yet.
No, the video I saw.
It was just Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
And then they've reopened the queue for Darth Vader. They did not reopen the queue for Chewbacca, it looked like, because Chewie walks around Galaxy's Edge.
He's in Galaxy's Edge now.
But they had a Boba Fett, so they can.
Yeah, they could put. They did have a little cantina area, so they could put Boba Fett back in there if they.
But Boba Fett does roam around Galaxy's Edge too.
Oh, the new Boba Fett. They can still do the old one.
Oh, okay.
So
Joey has a
it does
demand
look a
list.
well, it's the old Intervention building, so there's a lot of space in there, and the fact that they just have like I mean, it's cool that you can do the meet and greet with Vader because Vader's awesome. But it's like, oh yeah, we got the model for Galaxy's Edge. Well, I'd rather just go to Galaxy's Edge now. You know,
Right,
That's just me.
exactly. It's like we don't need the model anymore. Honestly, it's been there 5 years.
It would be the perfect. It would be the perfect spot to actually bring back the like legacy characters. Like don't have Luke roaming around anymore. Have him in there. Have Vader in there.
Yeah.
Have Leia and Han in there. You know, have these
Exactly.
characters. And with I was just thinking about this when I saw it in the notes, but it's like with the 50th of A New Hope coming next year, they should just put screens around like the animation building and just keep showing clips of different Star Wars. You know, a place to cool down while it's hot.
Well, I was even thinking like, you know, they have so many Star Wars characters that they put out at Star Wars night. They could rotate them. Yeah, rotate them.
Yeah. And, you know, sell more merch there. Why not?
Absolutely.
And while you're waiting for all of your meet and greets and walking around the land, you can play a fantastic game that we love to talk about here called We're in the Park. So let's hear from them now.
Hey fam, what scavenger hunt are you doing?
Well, we are doing We're in the Park.
Do you guys know We're in the Park? Because we do.
We do.
So how you play this is that they give you a deck of cards with an image on it, and you get to look around and see where in the park that is.
And they're fun. So if you like to find stuff, this is what you need to do.
The amazing game. We're in the Park right here.
If you're a seasoned Disney park goers as we are, it's a fun, you know, challenging even for the hardcore Disney parks fan.
We have played the Where in the Park games that we felt like, ooh, we got
still
this
a challenge.
Oh no, yeah, still a challenge, a fun challenge though, not an impossible challenge.
Check
Yeah,
them out.
they get really close to details, and you're like, I have never even seen that. I don't even know.
We're in the park. Have I seen that?
The great thing about these is that they're not in attractions and they're out in the open places. It's meant for families to play.
Besides people who've been there a lot, it's fun for people that are new to the parks as well, because you catch some of those details that you would probably miss when you're first going.
So there's images that you are finding on one side of the card, and then the other has the hint and the answer that you can reveal if you choose to.
Before it was just the hint and the answer, but now if you really want the land,
It'll tell you
they'll
where.
give you the land for an extra hint. You guys can take as long as you wish without the hint.
Yeah.
Without the hint, it's hard.
But that's what makes it fun.
But they do not just do Disney parks, obviously. What other parks do you guys actually cover?
Universal and all that good stuff.
East Coast, West Coast, and they're continuing to expand even more after that.
Check them out, we'reinthepark.com, if you need to get some game packs. They are so much fun.
We appreciate We're in the Park.
You know, they're awesome.
We love
Kevin and
that.
Amanda.
Get you some We're in the Park today.
Hell yeah.
Use promo code Walt's APT Podcast to save 10% at we'reinthepark.com.
Definitely check out Kevin, Amanda, and Kim at We're in the Park and buy some of their game packs because you are sure to have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Speaking of having a wonderful time, we got a little teaser this week about after hours at Hollywood Studios. So let me just refresh that really quick so we can watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, this was cool.
Yeah.
After Hours Zone.
Favorite attraction, shorter wait times, and snack included.
Oh, look. Much fewer people this time of night.
So that would be for the after hours zone at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And it says that they're going to have select nights all summer long. I don't think we've gotten any other information besides that, unless somebody else knows something I don't know.
That's all that I saw.
Usually they're a ticketed event, so you do have to pay for them. But like they said, snacks are included. Usually it's like bottled soda, ice cream bars. I think popcorn sometimes is included all night long. That kind of makes it worth it for me. We've never done them, but we've never gone at a time where they've had them.
Well, the Orlando Disney World after hours events are very different than the Disneyland after hours events. Disneyland's after hours events are very themed. There's so much going on, special for the night, very exclusive. And Disney World's after hours event is just basically the park is open later for an extra cost for a couple hours, or I don't know how many hours, but a few hours. Yeah, and you can ride rides, and I think you might be able to meet characters, specialty characters. But yeah, there's kind of food and things like that. But it's mostly to kind of have like an empty park.
And with I think with the shows that are at Hollywood Studios right now, that would be a huge plus. You probably get an extra Fantasmic just for people for that, plus the villain show and the Little Mermaid.
Hopefully, they would add extra shows.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because usually those shows are done for the night, before nighttime. But maybe they keep them open. I'm not.
At least the villains in Fantasmic, because
Villains, I would think they would keep it open for nighttime, but don't quote me on it. I don't know what the last show is.
At Kelly Turkel on Instagram. If you
right.
If you have any complaints,
you said it would be open.
Just send them my way.
Speaking of things that are going to be opening, though, Earl of Sandwich is getting a new 2-story location. Who wants to take that one?
So it is a bittersweet thing because they are closing Earl of Sandwich in its current location, and they are going to be starting to build up the new Portos location in the same area. So the little shack that's on the other side of Star Traders, it's like this little bungalow. That'll be Earl of Sandwich for now, but they are building a 2-story Earl of Sandwich right by D-Landers, where that is right now, directly across from the stage and grassy area. So it'll be over there. And what it is it'll be a big sit-down restaurant on the bottom, and then on the top they're going to have a 60s themed bar.
Yeah, like a 60s British invasion themed tavern.
Austin Powers, baby.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this because this kind of makes sense now because they have that whole new area where there's the grass and the band plays, and there's a bunch of seating over there, and you can go into Parkside and sit if you want to and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense that they moved the little shack truck
So they
down.
are actually doing patio seating as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Patio seating, yeah.
I hope so.
But this is
Indoor,
good.
outdoor, full patio, and full service.
Yes, when the 2-story building is done, yes. But in the interim, for the little shack that they have, they're not going to have any patio seating for that. So you can go take your food over to the seating area by the band and eat over there with your Earl of Sandwich, and that'll be much better than trying to find something over on the other side that's construction land. Also, I was thinking about it ever since they announced that they're doing a new Esplanade arrival experience, that they probably would have had to move everything down a bit for that, and Portos as well. So
shovels into the ground.
But yeah, sounds like it's going to be exciting though.
Shovels in the ground. Can't wait.
For sure. So when we come back from hearing from Lou at Sunken City Designs, we're going to come back with some quick trips that we will run through, just some things that we want to share with you, and then we're going to take it home. So let's hear from Lou at Sunken City Designs.
Sunken City Designs brings you art. Do you like art? I know I do. How about art based on Disney characters, like Mickey Mouse and the Oyster Thieves? You know, that's actually from Alice in Wonderland, the best princess movie ever made. Also, we have some dwarfs that have their heads ripped off sometimes. Why? I don't know. It's because it's Sunken City Design. So go there, sunkencitydesign.com. Get yourself some great merchandise. You got posters and, I believe, clothes. Who knows? I got a cup from there, and it's fantastic. You like cups? Do you ever use those? I do. Go for it. Oh yeah, sweatshirt. Can't forget about those. If you're ever cold, get yourself a sweatshirt from sunkencitydesign.com. Also, Wall-E. You know, that's the best movie ever made. Second only to Alice in Wonderland. All right. If you also like Walt's apartment, they have merch for that too. Where? sunkencitydesign.com. Hopefully you've already loaded up that site and you're looking at it and you have some items in your cart. Go ahead and check out as soon as you can because the show's about to come back on. All right, everybody. We appreciate you.
We do appreciate Lou and his art. So if you want to see what Lou's working on, again, head over to our Discord because he has a channel there where you can see the things that he is currently working on. He made me laugh today with his self-portraits that were a little silly. But we do have some quick trips, just things that we find interesting that we think are worth mentioning quickly. So Joey, I'm going to have you take this one.
Which would be?
Can you not see it?
Oh, yes. I can now. So we know that the Fantastic Four are going to be coming to Disneyland once the movie comes out in Tomorrowland. But they're getting ready for the movie. We also found out that Herbie is going to be joining them, the little robot. Mm-hmm. But here's the Herbie that they're in New York. This was a old Disney influencer. They're doing special. I think there's like a lounge fly, and they did all these different marketing stuff in New York.
Yeah, they did a merch reveal for certain brands like Her Universe and Loungefly and things like that. Yeah.
And then they had the Herbie that we're going to see. So I shared it in our Discord because I'm like, well, you know, we got a little preview of what we're going to see at Disneyland coming up here shortly.
It's very cute.
Yeah. This was at the old TWA hotel, which TWA was a airline back in the 60s.
And an old Disney show on ABC.
And her outfit is freaking Cinderella goals over there.
Yeah, they're dressed very fantastic.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
She's very
Storm. I think she was.
I want to meet Herbie. Herbie would be fun to meet.
Yeah,
I want to meet.
Which I think we'll be able to at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the Herbie that will be at Disneyland.
Yeah. All right. So
maybe that's what's going into Star Wars Launch Bay.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Marvel Launch Bay.
Everything's Marvel now.
Not complaining.
Not complaining at all.
Our next quick trip, looking at the Disneyland After Dark Pride Night merchandise.
Yeah, so this week was, so tonight is actually the second Pride Night. It's only this week and it's only Tuesday and Thursday, but this was the merch that they were selling there tonight. And I actually kind of really like it. That sweatshirt's kind of really cute.
Yes, they are very cute. Where in the parks can you find it? Because they do still sell the merchandise after if they don't sell out, right?
Yeah, if they don't sell out, they'll put it in the Emporium right now. If you go there, it's going to be in the Starcade, which is right off of the Star Tours exit. But when you're going up to the Star
Trader
Space Mountain bathrooms going up there, so that's where the Starcade is. So it's usually the check-in area. So you that's the first thing you see is the merch. But oh, go ahead.
I would say I know the I can't remember who the designer was, but for the jewelry, I didn't make it in time for the Pride Nights.
Oh
right?
Yeah, Chris Liu. Yeah, Chris Liu. It was kind of put back together, back to back by the person that I was looking at. So I was like, oh, did all of the Pride Night merch not make it? Because that sucks. But no, it's just the Chris Liu specific merchandise for Pride Night. I'm sure they'll still release it at a different date, but they didn't know when it would arrive.
Yeah, they'll sell them at Star Trader most likely when the event's done, or even roll to Disney.
Yeah,
I had some friends that I used to work with that went to the one last night or 2 nights ago, so they had a great time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there was Monday and Thursday. I don't know why they did a Monday, but I think it was Monday.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because Jen went on Monday.
Yeah. All right. Our next quick our next quick trip is taking us over to Hyperspace Mountain in Paris. So we got a first look of the new night light display that is going to be on Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain. And they also showed the collectible items that are going to be available for the 30th anniversary of the attraction. Cool. Very cool. So it says Walt Disney Imagineering has teamed up with the lighting designer who worked on the original 1995 attraction. And then later this summer, Discoveryland guests will be able to enjoy the light effects generated each time a vehicle launches into a galaxy far, far away. So every time they have a new launch of the attraction, there's going to be a lighting display.
See, this pisses me off because Discoveryland or whatever it's called in Paris looks amazing. And so when they did the 98 refurb of Tomorrowland, they tried to do the Jules Verne this style.
Yeah,
but we got the Temu version of that one, and Space Mountain literally looked like a poo emoji.
Poo emoji.
So, but every time this has been around for 30 years and it looks great. So
it does.
And then here's the souvenir line. So it's the miniature replica of the Columbiad Cannon and the original Space Mountain ride vehicles, and then a jumbo Space Mountain size attraction key. So
that's
very,
cool.
very
I
cool.
love the
I think it's brilliant that they every time a ride launches that you're getting a lighting display out of it.
Yeah.
That's something we don't have elsewhere. That you can do that with way.
They tried to do it during Halloween when they would put it in Ghost Galaxy. Like they would put like green lighting effects on Space Mountain, like on the outside of it.
I think it's hard
Nothing
because
like
our
that.
Space Mountain is on top of a building. It doesn't look like that looking at Space Mountain. So
they can do projection mapping though.
Yeah, they can do projection mapping, but it wouldn't look like that.
Disney is not using enough projection mapping, in my opinion. They have so many more ways that they could use it. We just had an episode.
Although some people say they're used too much in their fireworks shows.
I mean, we just had an episode of Imagine That where we were like, why do you not see Peter Pan's shadow like through Fantasyland? Why is that? Or like mice running around? Like,
yeah,
it's true. These things happen.
Like what they have in Small World right now is amazing. So.
Oh yeah.
Check out the video on Elements of Fun with YT.
Definitely check out Elements of Fun. Also, Disney Plus has revealed that there are going to be 16 new park POV experiences that you can start streaming on July 17th for Disneyland's 70th. We'll just read them quickly. Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones Adventure, Radiator Springs Racers, Incredicoaster, Haunted Mansion, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which that one surprised me. We're getting a ride through already. Cars Land, Pixar Pal Around, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Jungle Cruise, Soarin' Around the World, Avengers Campus, Hollywoodland, Main Street USA, Mickey's Toontown, Nighttime Spectaculars. So,
very
cool. What do you guys think?
Well, I was going to say that this reminds me of the sing-along tapes that we used to have and the Disneyland version of the sing-along tapes. But you used to be able to watch the sing-along tapes, and like if they had Yo-Ho, Yo-Ho, or Pirates Like for Me on it, they would literally take you through the ride of Pirates of the Caribbean. So I think people have been asking for the sing-along movies to be on Disney Plus for a long time, and I think Disney went, well, we'll do this instead.
No, I think this is great because, you know, as someone who has like recorded ride-through footage for, you know, many outlets, it's not going to be as great quality as what Disney's going to do because they could do it out of hours. The Rise of the Resistance is amazing if you guys haven't seen that one yet. So I'm excited to see some of these. It's just funny they're doing the Pal Around or Fun Wheel because
I know. I was like, that's a weird one to
people are still going to be scared to watch it. It looks like I'm up high. Yeah.
I'm not saying like it's bad or anything. I'm just saying it gives me like the Disney sing-along vibes.
Oh yeah. And
I
then,
think
like,
it's cool.
the Hollywoodland one is kind of weird, too, since that's going away. But I guess we have it preserved forever now.
I think it's a fun way to get your kids excited about going to the parks, too, if, you know.
100%, yeah.
Or when
if they've
people miss
never
the
had
park.
exposure. Or when you miss
Or yeah, when people miss the parks too, they can just throw it on. I mean, people on YouTube watch vloggers all the time.
Yeah, and I think this is exactly what Disney Plus, needs to be used for.
I'm going to be using them for virtual field trips for my kids.
There you
go.
You guys listen today. Let's go ride Pirates of the Caribbean.
And I'm hoping they do this with the other parks in Florida and Paris
So we
and
can
around.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I mean,
take us Tokyo Disney.
Paris.
Yes.
Exactly. Tokyo.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go to Tokyo, but yeah, if I can't get there right now, I would totally put on a POV.
But I think Disney's like, well, why should everybody look on YouTube when they could just look for 4K high quality with nobody's head in the way?
I mean, agreed, and nobody talking about how there's a new one over there, or there's someone over there. You know,
that's
they
a real
talk through the right.
That's a real human skull on that headboard. Shut up.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Anyways, yes.
Moving on to horror. I saved the Halloween-ish stuff till the end because I was like, we've been talking about Halloween so much lately in all of the parks. So I said, let's just throw these in here as quick trips. But we've got...
Oh, reminder, on Tuesday, Oogie Boogie Bash goes on sale. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. All right, let's see this.
Horror Unleashed is a brand new immersive experience unlike anything we've done before. We've got 4 incredible haunted houses that put you right in the middle of iconic and terrifying scenes.
In the Universal Monsters house of Van Helsing, as he battles all of your favorite classic monsters.
Our legacy of creating horror at Universal Studios goes all the way back to the beginning of film itself. We've been creating iconic horror movies that have stood the test of time.
Our Universal Monsters Haunted House takes you through the stories of all of the classic Universal monsters and you to walk into their world. Costume and makeup has always been a key part of telling the Universal monster stories. The more details that we're able to put into these costumes and makeup, the richer the character becomes and the scarier they will be for all of our guests to encounter.
We're bringing something entirely new to Las Vegas. It is a year-round destination, and so is our horror brand.
You're not really exposed to one type of horror, one type of character. It's evening of nightmares.
From the moment you walk in, you will be transported outside of your reality into the world of Universal Horror.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
You know how many people day drinking than going to that?
Yeah.
The Universal Monster one sounds cool though.
So
it does. I like the premise of the Universal Monster one, even though I would never go in.
We'll go.
So Universal Horror Unleashed is in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then
so that's going to be the year
August 14th.
One. Yes, August 14th.
It's going to be, and it's basically just 4 haunted houses that are themed around different.
I believe the goal is to change them up every once in a while for sure, but right now it's just 4 houses.
Yeah,
but
so
they also have
4
like a
haunted houses.
restaurant and shops there that all connected, so you're just like totally immersed in the horror aspect all the entire time you're in that space.
I mean, I think it's going to do really well. Especially being in Vegas. I think that's a great place for it. But I'm not running to go see it. Nope. Nope. I don't do jump scares. That's
a big fat no.
Don't be geeking.
No.
I am a big
And we do have one more thing to share from Halloween Horror Nights. So this is Orlando. We found out that Jason Voorhees is coming for us, essentially.
Is he the host? Is he the host or
No,
something?
he's not the host. He just has a house, but it's like
okay.
the universal.
Yeah, he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Jason Universe and more.
So
Yeah, that's a no as well.
I believe that one is at both of them because I saw it on the Universal Hollywood
I think so.
One too.
Yeah,
And-
but we always do both.
but they did announce that. They did announce that on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, they did. They did. Typically, they're a little different on the coasts, but maybe it's the exact same house. I don't know.
Yeah, and they are, I think they're calling it Jason Universe because they're going to take parts from all of the different movies in the franchise. So.
Tickets
But
are
I
on
know-
sale now, so if that's something, if that's something that you're interested in seeing, tickets are on sale now. You can go to the Halloween Horror Nights website and
Or use your free
grab
ticket.
them. Or use your free
If
ticket
you have a
already
if you have a
passed
platinum
If
pass.
you are a platinum pass holder, yes, you get a free ticket.
Joey is very proud of his free ticket.
Hey man, I'm a cheapskate. You give me something free, I'm using it.
Joey, did you know you have to RSVP for that free ticket?
Courtney failed to mention that to me.
Yes.
No,
So there is on the website. On the website, for pass holders, you can RSVP. There are certain dates for free members of Platinum Annual Pass, and you just RSVP just like we did for our Annual Pass holder takeover, and you can go for free.
Yeah, I'll just have to check
That's
who's
why
going.
I told you to get together with either Sarah, Richard, or Amanda and Kevin and figure out a day to go because you have to RSVP.
Yes, but you give me a My Little Pony free ticket, I'm going to that too. So,
Bruh.
What?
What?
Because
I'll be a brony. I'll be a brony.
A brony.
Oh, if it was free, you would go? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. On that note,
On that note, we have put everything in. I don't know how we do it, but I love it. I love it.
It's magic.
So, it is. It's
It's
magic,
magic.
here on the Extra Magic Hour. So let me pull up our little outro here so that I can make sure. That's okay. I closed it, but it's all right. Anyways.
So we don't have to play it twice?
No, not that. So we thank you for joining us for this episode of Extra Magic Hour. Definitely check out our YouTube if you want to see any of the visuals we use today. If you're listening on an audio player, please leave us a like, subscribe on all of our channels, all of our social media. And if you want to leave us a review, 5 stars preferably.
wish Kevin a happy birthday.
Share us with your friends. Tell Kevin happy birthday. He just had his birthday this week. And until next time, we'll see you in the parks.
Bye.
Switch on the sky.